What is the Dave Frank School of Jazz?
Okay, so first of all, there's a lot of people who are doing and have done what I've done. There's a lot of great teachers online who are teaching online. Some of the greatest jazz musicians are teaching online and have made tremendous master classes. There's wonderful uh, portals online where they have many, infinite number of classes that you can study. So this is definitely a trend in education. So what I've done the last 10 years is to work with people one-on-one on Zoom and Skype and so on. And what I'm doing with the Dave Frank School of Jazz online is I'm going to try to make it the process available to people at a much lower cost, and that would be on like a weekly Zoom meeting. So the concept here is that I want to share the processes that go into people learning how to improvise, how to harmonize, how to do everything that jazz piano and jazz improvisation offers. There's a way to learn that step by step. So that's what my focus is. So I'll be starting this Saturday. We're going to do a couple of free meetings. I just want to kind of get the temperature out there, and I know that a lot of people are interested in it. I have no idea exactly how this is going to come together. I'm improvising myself doing this, but it's not. It's within the realm of possibility with group lessons on Zoom, for example. So the idea is to have a weekly hour and a half meeting where I'll get a chance to um, share some of these processes online. So, for example, maybe it will be about walking bass lines. So I'll show you like the step-by-step process of that. And then there'll be a chance to play, and then I want to do a lot of question and answer with people. Maybe we'll have some guests. Um, it's going to be a weekly meeting of the troops, and it's I know that it's people want to learn, and I hope it works out the way that I'm thinking. So we'll do a free meeting this Saturday, August 5th, 2023, and then maybe do another free meeting, and after that it'll be a subscription thing, nominal price per month, and I'll be doing online classes every week for at least 90 minutes, inviting people to interact, to ask questions, to play for me. I'd love that opportunity to uh, to share feedback with people from all over the world at all different levels. We're going to see how this plays out. I think there are a lot of questions going into it about how it will be organized, but I think it's time for the clock is ticking for all of us. I think it's time that for me personally, I tried to reach as many people as I could.
And for people who wanted to check it out, where do they go? What is the
Okay,
address?
so all right, it's 2 to 3:30 p.m. New York time, Eastern Standard Time, and it's on Zoom. The address is 579-664-6371. There's no password needed. 579-664-6371. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna be there hanging out, and we'll greet everybody that comes, and I'll start sharing what it is that I can share, and we're gonna let it expand and grow as it grows, or not.
And you mentioned a nominal fee for subscription. What are you thinking of for that?
I'm thinking of maybe $30 a month for four 90-minute lessons. That's the plan I'm going into. I'm researching a lot of this, and this way, um, there are people that can't afford like a regular private lesson, but I think this will make it a lot more affordable, and that's the general concept going in. And again, I'll see how it works as I get started. I'm just going to jump in the water and see what happens.
Now, over the years, you've worked with a lot of students, obviously, a lot of piano students. Uh, is there any commonality in what students want to learn,
Absolutely.
and what
There,
would that be?
Okay, so there is a general. It's changing over time, but there is a general worldwide level where a lot of musicians and pianists have had pianistic training. So they've studied classically, let's say, or they studied pop music or whatever, and so they studied how to read music. So maybe they studied with a neighborhood piano teacher or a classical piano teacher of renown or whatever. Uh, and so a lot of people have piano skills and have technique on the piano, but there's a large percentage of people that haven't had the step-by-step improv training. So one whole very common group of students are students that have can play and have had years of study, maybe in many cases, but haven't yet found the step-by-step approach to learning how to improvise. So with jazz piano, you're looking at technique, you're looking at understanding the harmony of jazz, a la Bill Evans, a la Lenny Tristano, the great voicings, and to put all of these subjects in a very learnable, step-by-step approach again is my focus. So there are people that can play that have never really had a jazz training, so they want to start the improv journey for themselves. That's very common, especially in different parts of the world. But so the years go on, there are more people that can play jazz now too, because the teaching has expanded and because the jazz world has expanded. So my approach working with them is to give them two things. One is the tools they need in order to improvise, meaning the musical elements. So for pianists, you need to understand particular voicings. You need to understand different fingerings to use in the right hand. You need to understand how to use chord scales and arpeggios and things like this. Nuts and bolts. That's what I call musical elements. And the other side of the coin is that you need to know how to make music out of those elements. So once you understand the theory and technique, then there are certain improv concepts that you can apply to those materials to create music. And that's more about phrasing and how you connect phrases and how you say what you want to say and how do you express your own particular vision of music and life. So it's a combination of giving, sharing with people concepts of improvisation and also elements of music, elements of jazz that they need. So this is the recipe that goes together. So if you have the elements and you have the way to practice, day by day in order to achieve what you want to achieve, and you have the musical concepts to understand how to create music from the elements of improvisation, then that is the recipe to get you to play. And it's almost like when we were in high school, we used to go in the chemistry class and try to get a beaker to blow up. And so you had to know the right combinations of this and that and the other thing. And if you did, and you put all the right combinations in the beaker, it would automatically blow up. This is how I see jazz teaching. You have to have the elements and the concepts and the rhythm and the feel. There's certain things that can be provided from a teacher, and then your creativity will automatically explode. That's been my experience studying with the masters and in teaching over the years. So it's something that can happen for everybody, and that's the main message I want to get through. Is that if you're interested in learning how to be a participant in jazz, that you absolutely can do it. There are ways to learn. Reach out, find a teacher, study online. There's so much online to study, and get involved in the process of jazz education and developing your own unique voice. And it's a lifelong journey. At the age of 60, almost 7, I improvise on the same tunes as I was improvising on my bar mitzvah. And that's what Lenny and Charlie and other people were able to show me is how to just be able to sit and improvise, man. You can do it the rest of your life. It's so fulfilling. It's so much fun, and it's available to everybody. That's my major message.
For the school, we're not only talking about pianists, we're talking about anybody who wants to improvise.
Yes, it's going to be teaching improvisation. There are central concepts of improvisation and central musical elements, whether you're playing piano or not. Lenny used to teach, and Lenny and Charlie used to teach all instruments. So when I would go for a lesson with Lenny, I might be after a drum student or a vocal student. And so there are general concepts to learn improvisation that are cut across all instruments. But of course, my own particular madness is just jazz piano, so I'll be focusing a lot on that. But it'll to be seen how this all shakes out in terms of maybe there'll be different groups for different instrumentalists or people at different levels. I'm not sure yet.
And once again, the first meeting is on Saturday. I've got the number on the screen here on Zoom. What time is it again?
2:00 New York time, Eastern Standard Time, 2 to 3:30, and you can just come to hang out on Zoom, and it's just going to be what we call a jazz free for all. That's free for all of you.